Alright, hello everybody. Welcome to the stream where we're going to be streaming Game 2 here. I'm going to use this time to get set up and make sure you guys can hear me and everything. So somebody in the chat, just let me know if you can hear me, you can see my screen. Everything's good. Hey, alright. No problem. I do enjoy the streaming. Just make sure you guys can hear me, see my screen, do everything. Sweet. Alright. So, we just saw game 1 between Mike Kessling and Bastion Winkelhaus, where Bastion's Legend beat Mike's Court by 21. They're going to play game 2 very shortly. I'm sure they're taking a couple minute break right now. But while they do that, we can check out this bracket that is not quite updated, but as you can see here, we're into our top 8. Greg Shaw moved on earlier. He'll face Justin Desai at a time to be determined. Cryptophus and Gavin playing tonight at midnight Eastern, so roughly 8.5 hours from now. I played Joe on Tuesday. You can see that matchup on the YouTube channel. And then we're watching this game right here between Bastion and Mike. So we'll have a top 4 pretty soon. We have one of the 4 already, and it's not who anybody thought it would be, myself included. So we're getting them ready to go. I'm going to hit a couple buttons here to get everything set up. Make sure the stream's still working and everything. All right. I'll take predictions on what anybody thinks someone's going to play. I have my own predictions. Obviously, I know what Mike's playing, so that's kind of unfair. Catwall thinks Rops for Bastion. I actually think he's going to play the Bring 'Em Before Me droids. Should be interesting. Rots Vader, Brian Fred. Brian Fred has been fantastic in the last couple days, showing up in the channel 2 minutes after games start. Shadow Collective for Bastion, maybe? I could see that. Kessling on Yoda Communing, perhaps? I don't see any, Charlie. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just going to swap hats, by the way. Just about halfway through. Just have a pile of hats here. No one will know. Oh, I almost joined the table. That would have been ridiculous. Alright, so they got the table up here. We'll get going here. It is Rops, so whoever said Rops, great job. So Bastion on Ralltiir Operations Virtual, starting Insignificant Rebellion, Imperial Arrest Order and Secret Plans, and Endor Shield. Mike on Yoda Communing. The Jedi business version of Yoda Communing, starting Walkling and Insurrection Aim High. So Bastion won that game by 21. So Mike's got a little bit to overcome here. This Yoda deck is pretty efficient though, but Rops, it's an interesting matchup. It's going to be a longer game, I think. I've played this a couple times live. and they went to time, and I am not a slow player at all. I tend to play very fast, but the Yoda muting tends to stabilize a bit if they can flip the ROPS player back. So that's going to be key here. Space is going to be key also because there could be, there'll likely be both Battleground systems out, right? So Bastion's going to play his system, Mike's going to play his system because it pulls the Twix. So they'll be able to do a little back and forth there. I don't think the shuttle can make it in one go from Iraidu to Camino. So that'll be interesting. Might have to stop off at Ralltiir. But yeah, Brian Fred just said in chat that Mike is probably advantage, but not by 21. So we'll see how he plays it. If he has to be a little more aggressive on ground. Alright, so Bastion pulling some things with Endor Shield here. Oh, he had a Death Squadron assignments. I missed some things. Death Squadron assignments gets Vengeance V. Imperial Command gets General Veers V. And Endor Shield gets Admiral Ozzel so far. Only getting 3 on your first turn, but that's fine. You can safely set up here with Piet and pull Desane at least. If you really want the extra forfeit, you can throw Ozzel down. He's forfeit 5 with this version of IAO. Or you can just not. You can just draw some cards. Pulls out the prefect's office with the objective. Gonna go grab a docking bay. That's the executor docking bay. You know, I hate that for 20 odd years I've been playing this game, I've called it the executor, and then I started streaming, and now it's the executor, just so you don't get mad at me. Iraidu comes out. And he is just going to draw, so not worried about putting Piet down if you can't deploy Desane also. Mike's going to have 7 force here on his first turn. He's got an interesting choice, I guess, early, if he wants to make this a one system game or not. One battleground system game or not. I think you do pull the Camino here just because you get the extra activation. You just have to be wary of Yasane. Is it Yasane or Yasane? Desane or Desane? Some of those are probably right. You always deploy Piet unless he's in your... Oh, unless Desane's in your hand. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Maybe Bastion's playing a little extra conservatively early just in case Mike has a spy or something. I don't know. Well, Dasani is a water, so that can't be correct. I'm gonna stick with Desane. I don't think we can get away with saying Dasani so many times on stream. We're not sponsored by Coke. Maybe we can get Kessling to work on that, though. Alright, so Mike gets home on docking bay, grabs Camino. Hopefully able to get a Camino 2-0 here. But I guess it's in his force pile, so he's drawing up instead. So saves 3. We'll have 13 force to work with next turn at least. Bastion has 10 force, had saved 1, so 11 force here on turn 2. He'll go get a sight. It's interesting that none of these ROPs run any kind of non-unique trooper anymore. I mean, even like, I know it messes with your flip sometimes because like if you need a sight here and you can't find one and you find a trooper instead, that's a little rough. But I feel like a death trooper is a nice little boost to your deck. The old stormtrooper garrison was probably a little too expensive. There's the city. The spaceport docking bay with arrest order. And so Bastion now has to figure out how fast he wants to go. Up by 21, you know, you don't really have to go that fast. You think he activated the street, Timo? I mean, I agree you want the street out, so that makes sense. The city is the worst of the Ralltiir sites. So Bastion not deploying anything this turn. He's already into his battle phase, so he's probably just going to draw a bunch of cards here. Let's see what happens. He's already at 12 in hand. Actually draws none, so being very diligent about the 12 cards in hand thing. We saw that a little bit in game 1. I wasn't watching a ton because I was in a class, but was trying to watch. Saw a couple times he played a couple things where it didn't quite make sense unless you're just trying to stay under 12 cards. Alright, so Mike has 12 activated, so 15 total. Has the 2-0 from his hand. He's getting a docking bay from his reserve deck, so that'll be all of his locations except for the 2-2, which I don't know if you play that this game, unless you need to Unita something back. Alright, so Mike going to space pretty early here is going to drop R2 in red 5 with Luke Skywalker, the Emperor's Hope, or the Emperor's Hope, the Rebellion's Hope. That's what they should rename the card that comes out from under your starting effect. That should be Luke the Emperor's Hope, not the Emperor's Prize. Were you looking for me here to grab 3PO? Unfortunately, nowhere great to put him where he can't get bolted, but I was going to hang on to 3PO. That's interesting. That's, to me, is kind of a tell that he has Han Chewie Falcon in hand, or a way to get Han Chewie Falcon in hand. Risky if he has the shuttle, Emperor, and Tarkin. I don't know, you strand the shuttle there. You're going to be, what, power 4 plus 3 Destiny? With no enforcement. and only one redraw from Tarkin versus Power 8 and a Power Destiny and a Battle Destiny. That feels fairly even to me, and you have to worry about Han Shui Falcon coming down on the rebound, or a cannon or something if he plays the cannon. I don't actually know. The last list I saw had 3 levitations in it. Like, I don't know who plays 3 levitations. That's a terrible idea. But this one obviously has Where You're Looking For Me, so it's a different list. Yeah, he does have Vengeance in hand and 25 force to work with, so Vengeance being what, deployed 7, 8, 6, and a bunch of pilots is a bunch of power. I mean, if you figure, call the average Destiny in this deck a 4, Mike will be at 16, so if you're going to come down with Vengeance, you're going to need at least 2 pilots, presumably one being Ozzel, and to draw 5 to beat that. Bastion force pushing into a 25 card force pile. It sounds scary to me. Yeah, I think Charlie's right. I think more likely Bastion's going to just flip here, set up something at Raidu, because already Luke is down far away. I mean, he can make it in 1 turn, but Luke is down, so you can anticipate everything with Luke. Like no cannon to surprise you. You just set up like 3 dudes on the ground. Interesting. So Bastion tried to force push. Before that, he did pull There Is No Try. Mike's going to sense the force push, but draw 5 and miss. I don't know about that. I mean, I get it, like 25 cards in his force pile, he can probably get pretty much anything he wants. In this case, probably a Walker, because he's already got the General Veers. So you're trying to prevent that from happening. But you have to win this game by, what, 21? 22? You only have 27 in life force right now, with 18 in hand. I'd rather save the sense for something more impactful, though I don't know what that is off the top of my head. But I think Bastion's play here, right, is like, in addition to just wanting to set up the flip, you probably want to find the Gick, because you know Mike's biggest path to victory is some kind of beatdown. So if you find your Gick, you feel way safer. Here's Piet to the docking bay. We'll pull a commander. Pulls Mithral Naruto. Timo, I could see something like, you have to hope he doesn't have a Gick. You maybe cancel the masterful move when he tries to get the Gick. Imbalance combo, I think, is immune to sense, right? So that wouldn't work. The React would be a good one, yeah. If he's playing the Tempest Scout 1. Not Tempest Scout 1, Blizzard Scout 1. Here's Blizzard 4. 2 force for Darth Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith. Here's Blizzard Scout 1, which we just talked about. And Mithral Naruto. There's the Emperor's Shuttle. Interesting that it's going to the Ralltiir docking bay. Alright, so went to the docking bay. Piet transits over, that's going to flip Bastion. Mithra Naruto is going to get out of Blizzard Scout 1 and presumably into the shuttle. That makes more sense to me because now that's going to be, even if Mike has a cannon, you can just cancel that weapon destiny. And then the shuttle should move up to Ralltiir, where conceivably it's safe unless Mike plays like a Tantive or a Tiderium or a Fly Casual. Bastion pulls Battle Order. Piet gets on the Blizzard Scout 1, so that can react around. And Blizzard 4 moves to the center. Yeah, so in thinking about it now, for whatever reason, I'm looking at the 18 cards in Mike's hand, and I was thinking that Bastion also had way more cards in hand than just the 12. So that force push, trying to sense that force push makes a lot more sense. If you'll pardon the inadvertent pun. Alright, so Mike activating 15 force, so 16 to work with this turn. Is able to drain if he wants, but he has to pay 3, and it would only be a drain of 1. So not the most impactful. Mithron says what? Lose 1 force to cancel a just drawn weapon destiny targeting a starship he is piloting. So Mike declines to drain, moves into his deploy phase here, where he's going to check out his deck. That is Choke Vader on Blizzard 4, yes. So having the vehicles out for Bastion is very good for him because I don't think Mike's going to play anything that can shoot a vehicle. Maybe like a Yutani. I don't think he plays Leia's blaster rifle. I think he plays the EPP Leia. Yeah, so that's going to protect forfeit of all his guys. Can he choke from the AT-AT? He can, actually. Vader's text just says to target somebody who is there, not present. Or, excuse me, target one character who is present, which means the character needs to be present, not Vader. So Mike did play the 2-2, specifically to play the Unita to get the sense back. We'll deploy Qui-Gon Jinn to the docking bay. .3PO comes down to the 2-0. And we'll use 3PO. Qui-Gon gets a saber, naturally. Meditation comes down also. Yeah, Sean, that one got out of hand real quick. There were a couple battles at the Maz's castle that swung that one in Bastion's favor. Kid Fisto coming down to the 2-2 with a Jedi lightsaber. So we have a battle here at the docking bay. Qui-Gon versus Piet piloting Blizzard Scout 1. I'm just going straight to Battle Destiny, so Mike draws a 5. That'll be 11 total power. Bastion also draws a 5, so 10 total power, so Piet will go lost and nothing else will happen. Oh, it's an 8. He's flipped. I always forget that. So that's an 8, which means Mike owes 2 battle damage. There's Clash of Sabers. And Were You Looking for Me? Both from hand. And Piet goes lost. Bastion will use Baby Thrawn to target the adjacent site. Yeah, this is not... I don't think this is going to be great for Mike, right? Because you're going to come down, if you're Bastion, you have General Veers in your hand. You have probably 4 outs for a walker between 2 Death Squadron assignments and Blizzard 1 and Blizzard 8? No, Blizzard 8's on table. Blizzard, what's the one that draws Destiny? Is that Blizzard 7? I'm just making up Blizzards now. So it could be in for some pain. Here's Masterful Move. Take Gik into hand. And this is Blizzard 4. Blizzard 8, okay. This one's power 8, so it threw me off. Let's go with that. Alright, so Bastion on his turn will activate 16 Force. He could also pay to drain, but it would just be pay 3 to drain for 1. Instead, he's got Intimidator and Persecutor. That's not a card I expected to see out of Rops here. Good card, though. Ozzel comes down as well. And he is still flipped, but only drawing at +2 this time. There's Grand Moff Tarkin. We'll check his destinies here. Down comes Vader's personal shuttle. I don't think that's doing anything here other than doing some forfeit fodder because Vader's already on the table. Just adds 2 to power, 2 to power. Alright, so Bastion will battle here. We're 18 power to 8. Mike will add a destiny to total power. Bastion will add a destiny with Tarkin. Is drawing 2. Versus 1 to power here, which is a 7. That's good. So now 18 power to 15, 2 destinies to 1. That's a 6. That's a good one. And a 3, so 9 total makes 27. Plus 2 makes 29. Mike will draw a 3, so he'll be at 18. That's a difference of, what, 11? So he won't have to lose anything in overflow, but we'll have to lose Luke and the ship. While Bastion just has to lose Vader's shuttle. You probably wouldn't be able to save the Unita for Luke. You have to expect that he's going to lose. Oh no, Mike. What are you doing? Mike's losing force. But he has 11 attrition. He's got to lose both. Even Bastion asks what he's doing. Mike does enjoy playing on hard mode. Lost 3. Mike playing on hard mode, naturally. So we lost 3 cards. We'll see if he backs it up or not. Oh no, that's loud. Alright, so Bastion will move. Blizzard's got 1 over to the prefect's office. But he's in a pretty good spot here. Mike said in the chat that he's not paying as much attention as he should be. There was a fire drill at work, I guess. That's unfortunate. Alright, so Bastion set up, still flipped. Now threatening drain of 2 and 1. A lot of power and space. Still 2 destinies to contend with. Mike could drain here for 2 and 2 if he wants, but he'd have to pay 6 force to do so. Kid Fisto drawing a card. Looks like he will drain for at least 2 here at the docking bay. Bastion losing from deck, losing Moment of Triumph Virtual and Morgan Elspeth. It's Magistrate Morgan Elspeth to you. So Mike does have an opportunity to flip Bastion back here if he puts a guy to the city. Mike will check the 3 destinies in his deck. We'll 3PO for one of them. Jedi Levitation here, Pull somebody back from lost pile. Grabs the Luke back. Bastion playing an imbalance here to cause one additional force loss. And that would be immune to sense if he tried to play it to cancel. Sorry about the mess combo. Mike losing the Grimtosh from his hand. Here comes Luke again, this time to a Raidu. I wonder if that's the R2 he drew for Destiny last turn. I mean, that would make sense, but he also didn't subtract 2 from attrition, right? I might have just missed it. So Mike drawing a couple cards here. Down to 20 in life force. Is facing down at least 3 battle damage, drain damage here. There's a Hear Me Baby to play a shield. Alright, Bastion here activating 16 on his turn. Going to drain for 2 at Camino. Like losing Qui-Gon and Hoojix. And then drain for 1 at the Prefect's office. Like losing the sense that he got back. Camino is Parsec 7. And this is what? Hyperspeed 2. And this is a 4. 3, right? So Intimidator and Persecutor are staying at Camino. Barring an even more unexpected play of another system. There is Yassane. I mean, holding that Gick and wanting to put pressure on Mike, who has to win by 21, who has 20 in his life force, I might have just thrown the Yassane to the 2-0 here, just because that's another thing you got to deal with. I'm also not a 3-time world champion. Or very good with ROPS, so. Well, we have a minute, and so we make sure to get it in. Do my token here for this game. We're going to make it Intimidator and Persecutor here. That's going to be your token for this game, so submit that to the email address. Get your sweet stickers there. Alright, so Vader got on Blizzard Scout 1 and is going to move to the city, and Yasane is going to get on Blizzard 8 and hang out at the prefect's office. Bastion will draw some cards. Must not have a lot of characters if that's... I mean, that looks like a protection move, so you don't get flipped back. That's something... Like, if you had more characters, you don't burn Yasane there, I don't think. Still, set up a +3 to his destiny with ROPS and protected a second site. Alright, so Mike's turn here. He will be able to activate his entire deck now if he wants to. I don't think he will. I mean, the good thing is he's threatening drains of 2, 2, and 2. But I don't know how much more retrieval he has. He used the Jedi Lev, but he got it back with Yoda. He's got Walkling, but he needs to put 2 cards back in his life force. And has 9 in hand right now to Bastion's 12. So a tall order. And presumably he's going to keep taking damage from Camino. So drains for 2 at Araidu. Activates all but 1. Drains for 2 at Araidu. Bastion loses the Street from hand and Death Squadron assignments from hand. Drains for 2 at the docking bay. Oh, tries to drain at the docking bay, and Blizzard Scout 1 is going to react to that. And Vader's going to get out. Interesting. Mike did activate down to only 1 card left in his reserve deck, so that feels like a pretty safe move. Alright, the 2 players taking a second here. Mike getting a phone call. I'm pretty sure that Jared has given me license in the past to give away things when I stream. So I'm just going to assume that that's still true. So I can give away a GEMP AI booster. How am I going to do that? What am I going to do to give away things here? I didn't prepare for this. Oh, they came back. I don't know. I'll take more time to prepare then. Alright, so Mike drains for 2 at Naboo 2-2. Bastion losing Emperor Shuttle from hand and Emperor Palpatine from reserve deck. Mike checking out that Destiny now, so he'll know what it is. Bastion knows what it is. We get to keep guessing. He's actually going to 3PO for it, so must be a good one. So Han, Chewie, and the Falcon to Camino. My guess is that was the card. That will allow him to move Luke over and still contest Camino now. He'll be adding at least one Destiny to power, and then has the option to add a second Destiny to either power or attrition. Down comes Rey. Rey's going to go through his use pile. Going to Persona replace Luke with Luke, which is something I learned we could do at Worlds. So replaces the Rebellion's Hope with Virtual Set 1 Luke, so that will allow him to retrieve a Force each turn. So that's helpful. Down comes Anakin also. So Thrawn designating the prefect's office as the site. So if Mike moves Qui-Gon there, he'll have to lose a Force. Mike moves Luke to Camino. So Mike put himself in a position this turn where he doesn't have to take any damage next turn. That's good. And we'll see what Bastion has in his hand. I know I thought last turn that potentially he didn't have many characters, but he did draw a couple cards. So we can see what happens there. I think if he found a Walker, that's going to be tough because the Walker comes down to the docking bay with General Veers, which we do know is in hand. Life Force counts. Mike's got 17 in Life Force, 7 in hand. Bastion's got 22 in Life Force, 9 in hand. And while Bastion figures out how many to activate, I have a trivia question, and the winner will win a GIMP AI booster pack. I will put it in chat also. So, what place did Bastion finish at Eurocontinentals this year? First person to tell me what place he finished will win a GIMP AI booster pack. Fourth is incorrect based on what I'm reading, at least. Five is correct. So Joe has won himself a GIMP AI booster pack. Congratulations, Joe. I'm just giving this out on my own, so if Jared tells me no, then you can be mad at him and not me. Alright, so Bastion activated 16. Does have Blizzard 1, so it comes down with Blizzard 1 and General Veers. Guys, are you just counting now? Is that what you're doing? Here's Imperial Enforcement, which is currently turned on because there's 4 sites to 4 sites, or 4 locations to 4 locations. So that 18 power versus 9, 2 destinies plus 3 to total versus plus 1 and plus 1 to total. Here comes Mara also. Bastion only with 4 cards in reserve. See, that's what I should have asked, Carl. You would have gotten that one. Currently, Joe, he is not alive to win by 21. He's got 17 in Life Force, 7 in hand. So Mara's going to swing at Rey, but Mike's going to play a dodge. So Theron is a -2. And Desane is a 0. I'm sorry, -1. That would not have hit Ray anyway, actually. Michael 3PO here. So 24 and 2 destinies plus 3 to total. So it's what, 27 plus 2 destinies. To Mike's effectively 11 plus a destiny. Bastion draws a 5. I think Mike might take overflow here. Bastion exchanging a card in hand. Exchanges Palpatine in hand with Magistrate Morgan Elsbeth in the lost pile. And a 6. So that's what, 11, 12, 13, 14, 38 power. Yeah, Mike's definitely taking overflow here. His gig is, or his Hoojix is in the lost pile. And he only draws a 1. So that probably ends it. Yeah. So Michael will concede. Bastion will move on. Winning both games here. So Bastion moving on to the round of 4. I actually play him next, so that's fun. That's not the hardest road anyone's ever had. But yeah, a pretty good showing here with Rops. Obviously able in the first game with Legend to beat Court by 21 to set himself up here. And then the Intimidator Persecutor play against the Luke in ship, I think, kind of threw everything off. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me for the stream. Next stream that's happening is, let me hit my button here. What time is it? It's what, 7.5 hours from now? When Gavin and Gavin is playing Kurtifus Zemoid. So that's what, 7.5 hours. I think Connor is going to try to stream that, and we're going to host that to the PC channel, so the PC Twitch is where you'll find that. And we'll get you information about Greg and Justin for their round of 8 game, and then Bastion and I whenever we set things up as well. So thank you guys for joining me. The token again was Intimidator and Persecutor, and Joe's going to win that AI booster pack on Gimp. Alright, I'm going to play more silly games in this to win my own booster packs. So I will see you guys on Gimp.